So, in my own life, I've had an ongoing issue of corruption to deal with, which pertains to an issue of about 100 acres of land that's of ours on our farm, on the farm that I grew up on, that's been earmarked for housing development, and I suspect it will go up for housing development in the next 10 years or so. Another thing that they want to do with that land is they want to put a bypass through it. So that's happening in the next couple of years. I think that project is going to be brought to something like completion. Either the bypass will be built through it, and then not long after that, I suspect they'll probably try and put houses on it. So, what I suspect we need to do to be able to get ahead of that and ensure that the government don't do what they pretty much always do to farmers under compulsory purchase orders for plots of land such as this is put in our own proposals for a better project. Frankly, they'll provide the same amount of houses but of a different nature to what the likes of Barrett's or Persimmon will propose to them. So what I propose is, because inevitably the hamlet near the farm where I grew up called Redstocks, that will be turning into a village basically. So we can sort of future-proof our business by creating a couple of new businesses on our farm, for example, a pub perhaps, a restaurant of some description, a little shop, possibly like a farm shop or something, and use that sort of nucleus of local trade to sort of support those handful of businesses there. What I would propose doing on that land is submitting planning proposals absolutely as soon as we possibly can to put passive houses on that land, to put passive houses and renewable energy schemes on that land, to make it all carbon neutral, or even make it actively eliminate carbon from the atmosphere through offsetting, make it such that it can contribute renewable green energy to the grid, and sort of a couple of rather unique ways in which that could be made to happen over the course of any development. But this ensures basically that we don't get robbed by the government or the hand-in-glove government slash builder organisations such as Persimmon and so on, who will probably try and grift us out of every penny that they can get their hands on. I mean, you only have to look at the examples of compulsory purchase orders for things like HS2 and other housing developments. Like the way it works, like they issue a compulsory purchase order, the houses go up, all very quickly, all like just shunted through the planning process, with backhanders here, there, and everywhere, right? And then we get a compulsory purchase order and end up chasing whatever amount of money it happens to be through the courts for over a decade or so before we get anything. And then I expect at the end of it, what'll happen in the fullness of time, since they'll just make the case like you contributed nothing to getting the planning through the local government departments, you contributed nothing to actually building the houses, you contributed nothing to employing the staff, paying the insurance, doing whatever else that's involved in building all these houses. Why do you deserve something which seems fair, like 10% of the value of a property such as that at market value? However, I submit that if we get cracking with this sort of proposal for passive houses there, for sustainable, ecologically friendly housing, affordable, ecologically friendly housing, then we can make that land worth to ourselves, with planning permission on it, probably in excess of 150 million or so. So there's that is worth thinking about. But the likes of my delusional family, my idiotic vegan sister, who for that reason alone marks herself out as clearly delusional, or at least extraordinarily gullible, my the deteriorating mind of my abusive alcoholic father, who is taken with the belief that he can just sit around and do nothing and expect at some point a check for like £30 million. I'm not fucking kidding you. Like, this is double-digit IQ sort of person we're talking about. This is not a smart person remotely. Yeah, wait around for that to happen, and they'll just pay him off. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to get robbed. You're going to get robbed and fucked over by the government. It's already really happening with his girlfriend as well. Like, snake her way in there, like, and she might want the rest of the farm for all sorts of reasons. They have proposals for putting solar panels on the entire farm at this point. She might be trying to go for that, and that'll be worth a huge amount of money to her if she can pull that one off. And someone, I'm almost certain it was her or like a group of people, connected to her, or a group of people involved in the same plot that she was orchestrating, tried to kill me over this at the University of East Anglia. I still believe that. That's weird, isn't it? It seems that all the evidence in my best estimations points directly to that conclusion. Every time I've spoken about this and written about it online, like police and NHS mental health services, like squirm into my life to subtly threaten me into keeping quiet, or to coerce me into taking dangerous brain-damaging medication as a means of torture. To keep me quiet, so I'm just going to inhuman and degrading treatment. These fucking revolting animals in public services like her. So what do we need to do? We need to prepare our business for the future. We need to get ahead of this. We need to anticipate that Redstocks Village is going to become a thing at some point. And there's no reason why not. No reason why at all why not. We, as the landowners themselves, could not be playing a fundamental role in orchestrating that. After all, who's more likely to be able to get it all through the planning process anyway? Ourselves, or just some random housing developer? What are the residents of Redstocks more likely to want next to them? Are they more likely to want passive houses, these ecologically friendly, sustainable developments? Or are they more likely to want just another huge barracks development? As long as we can make something that appeals more to more people, then we'll get it through planning. On Block Persimmon. And, crucially, in the next 18 months, Keir Starmer will be walking through the door of number 10 Downing Street. I'm almost certain of it. Actually, I'm certain of it. These people, this Tory government has featured about 2 or 3 of the worst prime ministers in our history. They've killed about 120,000 people unnecessarily in the population, and they need to go. No one believes in them anymore, I don't think. They rose to power on the promise that they legalised cannabis and motivating the 2.6 million or so stoners in the UK to vote for them. That's what's going to happen. So what, can a Labour government override, keep face? Overriding passive houses in favour of barracks developments. These shitty, shoddily built new houses that go up everywhere around in Wiltshire. No one wants to live in, really. That sort of turn into shitty areas very quickly. No, of course not. Not this sort of stuff. People want hippies living next to them.